This is for year 11 methods. We're going to look at exercise 4A, question 3A. So we can write this equation as this graph. We want to sketch the graph of y equals 1 on 3x, and hence the graph of y equals 1 on 3x plus 6. Okay. So as we can see with the first equation, we notice there's a number in front of the x, okay? Now, whenever there's a number in front of the x, we can't read what the left-right transformation is, okay? So the left-right transformation is not 6 to the left, okay? So in order to reveal our true transformation, we always need to take a factor out if the number in front of the x is not positive 1, okay? If it's negative, you still need to take a negative out, okay? So here we've taken a 3 out, and we reveal that the true transformation is that the graph has moved 2 to the left. Okay, and that's really important because remember our first step to drawing a hyperbola is always to draw the asymptotes. And if you don't know where the graph has moved, then you can't draw the asymptotes correctly. So we want to sketch the graph of 1 on 3x first. Okay, that's very vanilla. Okay, so it's a very straightforward graph. It hasn't moved left or right, so my x asymptote is still at x equals 0 and y equals 0. And you might be wondering, oh, what does a 3 do? Now, I can rewrite that as a third divided by x. Okay, it's actually the same thing. So what that 3 actually is like a dilation factor. Okay, so it's making it fatter fitter. In this case, it doesn't really matter because I just need to draw the graph. Now, depending on which class you're in, I may not have covered this, but just know that whenever you draw a hyperbola, you need 2 points. Okay, those 2 points could be your x and y intercept. But if you don't have 2 points, you need to make sure you choose 2 points to sub in to show it on the graph. Okay, so I'm going to choose an easy point. So an easy point might be x equals 1. When x equals 1, y equals 2, 1/3. When x equals 2, y equals 1 over 6. Okay. So why am I doing this? Because I need to show that it's a dilation. There's a dilation factor. So x equals 1, you just write 1 1/3. X equals 2 and 2 and 1/6. Okay, you always have to show 2 points. Now for part B of the second part of the question, we want to draw the graph of this. Okay, remember you should look at this equation because that helps you show what's happening in the graph. So it's moved 2 to the left. So my asymptote is now at x equals 2. My y asymptote is still at 0. Okay, so it hasn't moved up or down, so my y asymptote is there. Now, my shape is a positive shape, so it's going to look here, look like that, and look like that. So am I expecting a y-intercept? Yes, I am. Am I expecting x-intercept? No, because there's an asymptote there. I'll never touch the x-axis. So I can comfortably draw the bottom section. Remember, I'm not touching, I'm not curving away. Okay. And the top part, I can comfortably draw it like this. I'll make sure I'm relatively perfect because on a test or SAC, I am expecting everyone to be very fairly accurate with this graph. Okay, so that's fine. I'm not curving away. I'm not touching the axis. I'm not touching the asymptote. So I just need to work out what this y-intercept is. Y-intercept, x equals 0. Okay, so I'll just literally sub in x equals 0 into that. So when 3 times 0 is 0, and you're left with 6. So that's 6. Now, because I only have 1 point, which is the x y-intercept, I need to make sure I sub in a second point. So remember, I choose easy values to sub in. So an easy value to sub in on the graph might be positive 1. Okay, so when x equals 1, so second point, when x equals 1, y equals 3 plus 1, which is 9, a 9. So 1/9. I'm going to put this in. This could be 1, oops, put it here, 1/9. 1/9. So I've done my graph, I've labeled all I need to label, and that should give you 4 marks. Okay, so just make sure you use a ruler label at least have 2 points. So x-intercept, y-intercept, and your asymptotes obviously need to be labeled. Okay. In this case, I've only got a y-intercept, so I need to have a second point. So you choose an easy x value to sub in, and you get a value for y and get a coordinate. Okay. So that's how I do it.